We off mind, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind. Person where they do even no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh yo yo, my egun don't come. Oh yo yo, my people make you shout. Oh yo yo, my egun don't come. Oh yo yo, my egun don't come, man of the masses. Oh yo yo, my egun don't come. Oh yo yo, my egun diary politico. Oh yo yo, my egun don't come. Oh yo yo, this man not the off in mind. Oh yo yo, my egun don't come. Oh yo yo.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Mayegun number one.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live.
Mayegun diary Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary Mayegun number one.
Thank you so much for joining me this evening or morning or afternoon, depends. Just joining us again on this sermon or session on Mayegun's Diary Politico. Thank you. But before you settle down or before we get fully into this, just take a minute, like the broadcast, share it. Subscribe if you haven't. Just before you kind of settle down.
Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹ́gọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Thank you so much. Share the broadcast. We have the first 5 minutes to get us into it, okay? Afterwards, right? Fire on.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Thank you very much. There is a popular saying, there is no way, or should I say, there is no amount of education that you have, right? Or exposure that you have, the moment you decide to defend anything APC, Egbekegbe, you will start sounding like the most foolish person ever. And that's exactly what Isaleku Barack Obama, the Nigeria Minister of Darkness, potholes, and homelessness, Fashola, Ajangbadi Albert Einstein. He was on TV trying to defend Kolu. Baba, a lot of you will be watching and be like, Eshe, na Fashola be this, na him. Deflecting and dodging, not straightforward. And guess what? These are the people that want you to respect them. Don't you have any respect? Is it Fashola that you are talking about like that? How can you be talking about a Wole Soyinka like that? I am talking about people who dance naked in public. But because they have no shame per se, should I say, so entitled that they have no act of responsibility in them. So they are not responsible for anyone. And they are entitled just for everything they desire, including respect. How do you respect people who sound stupid, whether they are young or old? What kind of respect is that? Share this broadcast.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá ayé ìṣúra aṣòfin tí ń rúfin òwò ayé ìṣúra òwúrọ̀ olóṣèlú ayé ìṣúra ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ṣúra kì ayé ìṣúra kì.
Thank you. Again, if you are just joining us, this is live. If you are watching at the right time, but if you are watching a premiere or you are watching a replay, that's different, okay? But I am happy that you made it to the live broadcasts. But do you know where I want us to start from? From Southern Kaduna. In the news, again and again. And this time around, we actually have a video of where 33 people were given mass burial in Zango Katav in Southern Kaduna. They were killed, slaughtered by the dreaded Fulani terrorists. What could have been their offense? When is the bloodbath and the killings in this part of Nigeria going to end? I saw children, I saw kids slaughtered, butchered. This evening, they have recovered more bodies. Now they are saying the number of people killed they are now over 40 people killed. 40 people killed. For what? We're still talking about what could be the reasons behind all these killings. What exactly do these killers want? And why is Nigeria protecting them? Remember that. Then, just recently, they started showing us evidence of the Chinese nationals in Nigeria who are chasing, rare precious mineral stones or resources across Nigeria, escalating this crisis too. But at the end of the whole thing, it just goes like every other. But this particular one is documented. We'll skip the parts where people were being buried in shallow graves, slaughtered, butchered, children, women, men, elderly, young people, all mobbed. Like they are like piled up in a ditch in Southern Kaduna. Now, listen to this. Some of them now said, if Kaduna that houses the major military formation institutions in Nigeria, I've told you this before, Kaduna can stand for like Pentagon of Nigeria. Shina Pentagon. Where do you, I know that America didn't concentrate all their, security formation in a city, but Nigeria, in Kaduna, you will see every security formation, right? Their highest institution, including military training college. But yet, the Nigerians there have been subjected to endless, ethnic cleansing, put it that way. And in this case too, theirs also have religious coloration. Women, children They said that the only thing that the Nigerian military, soldiers in that part of Nigeria, Kaduna, the only thing that actually interests them is when a cow is missing. When a cow goes missing, a cow or two, or they steal cows, every community and communities around that place, every household will be searched. Mass arrests will be made until those communities will come together and contribute money to pay for those cows. The cows' lives matter more than Nigerians' lives. I don't know how that sounds to you, but it is true. Cows' lives matter more than Nigerians' lives. Look at this. They are Nigerians, oh. They are not refugees in their own country, oh. Arise News gave us this, and the credit goes to them. Just take a listen.
Community in distress. Their loved ones have been killed by terrorists. Human bodies litter the streets, some with deep machete cuts, and many burnt beyond recognition. It's not a pleasant sight to behold. The smell of burnt humans fills the air, and graves are being dug as the living bury their dead. According to eyewitnesses, the terrorists stormed Runji village in their numbers, shooting sporadically and setting houses ablaze with occupants in them. Those who were lucky to escape say the rampaging gunmen operated for over an hour, adding that military intervention came late.
Kill our people, kill our husband. Don't put fire anywhere. We don't know where they come from. They come kill our children with my uncle, father, my sister yesterday.
About 10:30 yesterday night, after a successful wedding of our illustrious son, the Fulani just occurred to the village and attacked us. And many souls were killed. About 30 corpses are laying down. Many are injured, are in the hospitals. And we are pleading on the solidarity of the government to come and rescue us. We knew what is happening in this land. We are living peacefully with these Fulanis. And now we became enemies to each other. We don't know what is the cost. And we are looking for the government to come. And one thing that disturbs us, we have military men around, but they can't help us. We want the government to withdraw all the checkpoints out of our Chablan.
There are plenty, more than 200 people attacks.
Did they bring guns? What did they bring?
They bring guns and shooting us and burn our house. Yes.
What were they saying? Did you hear anything they were saying?
They said that they will come back again and kill my children and also my wife, brother.
It's a Black Sunday for these people as they gather to bury the remains of their loved ones in a mass grave.
Already about 32 people are killed. About 40 houses were burned. There was nobody that came here to help us. So I don't know. All of us were in pains. We are even confused who to complain to again now. Because we have been complaining and there's no any assistance. When the attack was going on, we called the military. I personally called them and informed them. Well,
So what was
according to them, they said they tried their best. You know, when the attack was going on, I was not there. So I won't say this is what they did. But all what I know, people were killed.
We will not run away from our land. Even if they come tonight after us, we are killed, there will still be some people who will talk, and there will be young who will rise again. Amen. And so we ask that the government of Kaduna State and the government of Federal Republic of Nigeria, they should do the needful. They know what they should do to stop this evil. They know it. I have said it, and let me repeat myself again. If by mistake one cow is killed by any of the community here, the number of military troops that will enter and ransack the community and look for those to arrest because one cow has been killed. And now we have 33 corpses. And a young boy of less than 5 years who has been beheaded. What has that young boy done to these evil people?
Several villagers could be seen packing their bags to leave the village. They are scared that the terrorists may return and strike again. The people of Runji village in Zango Kataf local government area feel abandoned by the government. They want the perpetrators brought to book. Nisi.
That's Nigeria. That is Nigeria. And situation like that is actually what people pass through every day in majority part of the middle belt part of Nigeria and some core northern part of Nigeria. They have been abandoned. In these areas, though, there are military checkpoints. And their purpose is actually to what? Stop attacks or respond early enough. But they won't. We all know that that's been the story for 8 years. Tens of thousands of people have been killed, just like that. Children who have done nothing. And it is the same MO, the same mode of operation. The terrorists will come in large numbers, majority of them with guns, others with machete and other dangerous weapons. And then they will start setting people's homes ablaze in the middle of the night. Right? Burning people in their houses. So those who run out of the houses, in the burning houses, they will be shot and massacred by these terrorists. Like for what exactly? And APC, Ebekebe, want you to feel guilty for speaking up and speaking out because you haven't become a victim yet. You are not one of those 33 people slaughtered and then buried in shallow graves. You are not, and you have the right and ability to speak up right now. And APC and their minions, they are threatening Nigerians, and everybody speaking up. They are calling them enemies of Nigeria who want Nigeria to burn. Hello, who is currently behind this endless massacre of Nigerians, especially the middle belters that we have seen for so long? This southern Kaduna, what do they want? Are they not Nigerians? Do they not deserve the protection of a country that they should be patriotic to? So APC will turn around and blame you because you are telling the world that the government of Nigeria has failed to protect Nigerians. Rather, they are offering amnesty and then money and training for terrorists. In that same country, Nigerians are living in refugee camps for 10 years now. Hello? That is not burning down a country. That is not calling for war. What would you call what happened to those people? Friendly match. They just played a friendly match and then, Abby, because you haven't become a victim yet. But relax. Nigeria has proven to all of us that whether you are APC or you are PDP or you are OBDNT or you are Badomaiti or you are Mekanaiti, it doesn't matter who you belong to, whether you are from the north or you are from the south, whether you are a Christian, a Muslim, or maybe it is your own tribe that you believe that you have a battle of supremacy to fight. Nigeria has proven to all of us that now all of us go collect. See, yesterday's survivors, those who survived yesterday in Nigeria, they are the potential victims of today. Now, all of you who think you have survived today, you are a potential victim of tomorrow. You are only surviving for the next day and for the next day until it gets to your turn. That is what Nigeria has proven to us. And so far, so good, right? Those who probably if somebody was asking me a question and said, Mayegun, have you ever thought of when you look at the level of bigotry and then, that's this eightful APC and everything about them, right? That have I ever asked myself about those who are Igbos in APC, that how do they feel? And I said, well, I never thought of that. Okay, right? So if you are Igbo or from Igbo land and you are a member of APC, how do you really feel with this your APC, Egbekegbe, and their posture? How do you feel? Okay, maybe we should leave the tribe out of it now, right? You supporting APC, whether you are in Nigeria or not, okay? Now, how do you feel when you look around and you see the ruins that they have brought upon Nigeria, the poverty they are talking about, right? Let me show you something. See, in 5 years, right? The Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, right? They said 2 million businesses died in Nigeria. I can tell you, right, that these 2 million businesses that died in Nigeria, they are contributed to the current over 45% unemployment rate in Nigeria. Sure, you know that it makes sense, Abi? When 2 million businesses die, people lose their jobs. Abi? So now you have the highest unemployment rate in the world as we speak. Do you know that those who lost their jobs, they are also members of your family? Those who lost their businesses, they are also either related to you or people you know as well. Now, when people find it difficult to actually live right now, there is no special privilege for you with all your love, with your prayer, with your dedication, with everything you have given to APC, because all you see is that people who point all these things out, they hate them. Oh, Mayegun, you never see anything good in APC. How could I see a country descend from unemployment rate of 13.5 million? That jumped to over 80 million people unemployed. How could I look away on that? How could you look away on the fact that when these criminals, so this APCO, when they were telling you that they were going to end terrorism in 3 months, remember, the people living in refugee camps in Nigeria, they said it themselves. 1 million Nigerians are living in refugee camps because of Boko Haram. Do you know that right now, over 10 million Nigerians have been displaced? And they are now living in far places from where they were actually living before APC came to power. Refugee camps. Some are now living outside Nigeria as refugees. How could I look away from that? How can you watching me right now, look away from the fact that they said over 7 million Nigerians, so children, are out of school? Alarming, unbelievable, Abi. That's unacceptable. Was unacceptable. Today, over 22 million are now out of school children. 22 million out of school children. How could you look away from that? And then how could you look away from the fact that these guys told you that it is ridiculous to be paying subsidy? And the reason why you are paying subsidy was because some corrupt government officials are they were collaborating with some oil marketers to defraud the government by increasing their number in order to get more money. Corruption. To end all of this, a country that is producing its own oil for nearly 60 years couldn't refine its own products, couldn't refine its own crude oil. for use, domestic use, 60 years. Are you with me? So APC, Egbekegbe told you, they will build you one refinery every year. If they had fulfilled that promise alone, right? The other promise they made you on electricity, right? That they will generate 10,000 megawatt of electricity every year. They promised you 40,000 megawatt electricity. Today, you are not even asking them. Now, if I point that out, I am the enemy of Nigeria who wants a Nigerian to burn. Do you see your hypocrisy there? Now, all the victims of all these things, right? They are you, they are your people, they are people you know, and they are people that are related to you. So, 8 solid years, they met refineries in Nigeria working at 40% capacity. Today, they are now working at 0% capacity after expending tens of millions of dollars for refurbishment. No new refineries. The old ones are dead. Rather, they decided to go and borrow money, 6.5 billion US dollars from the European Union. Give us this money. We want to build pipeline from the Niger Delta where the oil is. They want to build hundreds of kilometers, 600 or so kilometers out of Nigeria to Niger Republic, where they are going to be able to pump the oil in Niger Delta, and they can now refine the crude oil in Niger Republic. Guess what? To create jobs, let the militants and their guns and their anti-aircraft rocket and everything they always display, the giant ammunitions they display, let's give them a job. Tombolo, you can take a job of 4 billion naira security. Your job is this. Just employ the youth of the Niger Delta to provide security and guide the construction of this pipeline to Niger Republic. Brilliant. And the entire Niger Delta, they kept quiet. They did that. They promised you that. If they had built you each refinery, they promised you. Today, they probably have generated more than 10,000 megawatts of electricity through those refineries. Then, from the blues, Nigeria can build refineries. Now, Dangote field build refinery. Nigeria, third largest oil producer in the world, cannot build refineries. They can borrow money, okay, to expend on a moribund refinery. APC did that to you, not me. The consequences of all of that is that you now have inflation, hyperinflation. A bag of rice in 2015 was about 7,500 naira. A bag of rice, 50 kg of rice today is over 35,000 naira. That is hyperinflation. They may tell you inflation in Nigeria is 22%. Does that even make any sense? Inflation means that more money, less goods, Abi. So, does it make any sense that a 7,500 naira bag, 50 kg rice in 2015, 8 years ago, the inflation of 8 years has now tripled and quadrupled it? Hello? Not even after, not when they have already invested 1.4 trillion naira in what they called farmers, something farmers borrowers anchor program. 1.4 trillion naira borrowed from the African Development Bank. Loan, Emefiole gave this money to those they believed they were farmers. Now, the farmers who took the money decided to go to the farm and farm. Guess what? Those who told you they want to end the terrorism in 3 months will end Boko Haram in 3 months. They didn't tell you. They were actually like going to, change Boko Haram, industrialize it, and bring new terrorists in. Now you have Boko Haram, you have a SWAP 1, a SWAP 2, you have Fulani terrorists. And all these terrorists, right, they are now operating in northern Nigeria, where most of that loan, Anchor Borrowers Program, that Emefiole took, most of that loan was given to the farmers in northern Nigeria. Guess what? Most of the farms have been taken over by the terrorists. The farmers who were supposed to pay the loan back, stop the importation of rice in Nigeria, crash the food price in Nigeria, they ended up in the hands of the terrorists. Half of this northern part of Nigeria is no longer under Nigeria. Majority of them are now paying taxes to the terrorists in northern Nigeria. All of this, I didn't do them. So when APC failed, right, they said, but why do you have to say it that way? Why can't you just say, let us all come together and pray? I said, that's deceitful. That's a lie. You can't avoid the real issue and then just rub over it and think it's going to go away. It won't. The compound, or should I say, the compilation of all these problems have brought Nigeria to these states. And here we are. Nobody is spared. Whether you are APC, whether you are PDP, whether you are Christian, you will collect. So, and that is why if you have a chance of speaking out, please do. Are you with me? So, sorry, I don't know. Sometimes there are serious conversations that you shouldn't kind of joke about. Paul Uche, I would take that your comment as probably referring to me that I should go to court. So that may be a joke, but you won't make another joke, okay? You will not be able to make that anymore. Anyway, this will then take us to the people who have rejected what you will call responsibility and turn around and then blame the victims. It's so easy. Why are you reacting like that? Must you insult them? Don't you have any respect in it? And the rest of all those shenanigans and all that, don't give room to them. Okay? Once you sense that somebody is about to try to play smart on you when you are actually having a serious convo, right? Or trying to like water it down and make a joke of it, trust me, right? You can do without them. They are just a bunch of manipulative, cunts. Anyway, this man, from what they did, you know what I mean? From what they did in Adamawa, this man has been served a letter, which is also about to create what you can call constitutional crisis. They say INEC doesn't have any constitutional power to annul election results. Remember this guy whose name is Hudu. He's also a lawyer, Barrister Hudu Yunusa Harry. Is the that is a resident electoral commissioner for Adamawa. This is the guy who announced Binani as the winner without any result, even when the actual result shows that Binani was losing. Now, Aisha Binani has accepted the victory and he has extended a hand of fellowship to other contestants, right? And all the blah. So INEC now issued this letter saying that he should stay away from INEC Adamawa State. He has been suspended. And the result of the election will now be announced from Abuja. So the man that, those that got beaten yesterday, from the reports, that wasn't this man. In fact, you saw that video where they beat DSS officer, beat another old man that we thought was the wreck. They said it was him. When the DSS officer, as well as the old man in that car that you saw, who happened to be another man entirely, sent from Abuja, is the National INEC commissioner. That one is not Adamawa, but they sent them to go and observe the supplementary election. So when this guy, who had no right to announce any winner, when he decided to act, some believe that he wasn't acting by himself. He walked in with soldiers, with policemen, and other security agents, right? And then he announced and he said, Aisha Binani of APC had won the election, and therefore she is now the next governor of Adamawa. And when they tried to stop him, so he bolted, and the security he brought, right, descended on that old man you saw in the car that got beaten and naked and bloodied. You get? That man that got beaten. It wasn't even the politicians that beat him. It was his own security men, this guy. So which means he wasn't acting alone. He had all the backing. because they said it was given 2 billion naira, 2 billion naira. So to make that announcement, and immediately it was done, it disappeared. His whereabouts couldn't be ascertained, even as at now. So what people are now saying is that can INEC nullify, announce the results? You know, all the media in Nigeria, it was like everything was planned. Immediately that man said that without any announcement, the Nigerian media, online and offline, their headline was Nigeria elected the first woman. No, they didn't quote any figure, no figure, no nothing. No. So they are now saying, they are now saying that since Benani has been declared winner, so whoever feels like that was done illegally would have to go to court. So what people are now saying is that is the new rigging way. Sure you get. So what will happen is that they will write their results, they will announce it no matter how ridiculous it sounds, and they will tell you to go to court. Sure you get. It is just that unfortunately, like I told you, it doesn't matter what part of the coin, what side of the coin you belong to. Injustice doesn't know anybody. Sure you get. Now everybody go collect. And injustice comes in different shapes, size, and forms. So even within the APC, like I asked earlier, when APC was doling out and dishing out propaganda upon propaganda, tribal and ethnic slur against the Igbos, all of you who are Igbos in APC, how do you actually feel? In all honesty, how do you feel? Okay. Do you remember a man called Smart Adeyemi? Smart till Smart. The one that was licking the ass of Yeye Bello in Kogi. A supposed educated man, journalist. It was actually a popular journalist in the 90s. Seriously. Smart Adeyemi. But ain't no smart. Majority of them are just looking for what to eat. Remember what I told you about the type of poverty that Nigeria have? Let me explain that to you. Usually, only few people are above the poverty ratio in Nigeria. You see, poverty to so many people is simply defined as a lack. A situation where you lack basic things. Do you get that? Okay, I'm poor. Lack or something. But in Nigeria, yes, we have the poverty of lack. Okay? But there is another poverty. It is poverty of the mind. You see, poverty of the mind is when you see these greedy Nigerians. Put it this way. The first stage of poverty is that in Nigeria, you get born into it. No water, no light, no good school, no good road, no good hospitals, no good food. You have to just more or less like a fight through life as immediately you take your first breath. Then the survival instinct, the survival mentality in you as a child will begin to build based on the life Nigeria experience. So, like I said, only few will not become so selfish and greedy. And that is why majority of Nigerians today, they are greedy, they are selfish, they are self-centered. Because according to them, it is the battle or the survivor of the fittest, the struggle of what I have seen in my life, the poverty I have seen, any opportunity I see, I must take it. So in this case, a lot of them have built in themselves the poverty mentality, which is mostly the poverty of the mind, which makes them so scared. Even when they have accumulated enough wealth, good or bad, in fact, terribly bad, they just don't want to stop. They are so scared of being poor again. And to survive that, they just have to steal and steal and steal as much as possible. And you know what they are stealing? As they are stealing, Turn by Turn Nigeria Limited, what they are doing is that they are taking away the opportunities that could have actually lifted millions like them, or a new generation that won't know poverty rather than them. That's what they are doing. They are stealing from them, and they are dipping generation from generation into that further poverty because they are scared of being poor themselves. When you give them public office, they go to churches to do celebration, thanksgiving. Is thanking God that he's been appointed a commissioner. She's been appointed a minister. Why do you think they are thanking God? Because that's a turn. It is a turn. It is his turn. You get that? So everybody takes their own turn without caring. So poverty of the mind. You will see somebody, they will say somebody stole 100 billion naira. 100 billion naira. The community it comes from has no good road, has no drinking water, has no reliable medical facility. They have no real educational facility. The people living there are living in poverty. Old, young are struggling through life. But you wanted to be seen alone as somebody who is successful because he stole their money. Remember? They have to come to him. In this entire community, his house is the most beautiful. It's the biggest. Is the most successful. His children are special children. And to maintain that, he needs to steal more. If you take him out of where he's stealing the money, he won't take that position anymore. He will become a regular guy, struggling like everyone else. To avoid all of that, they become more desperate. Catch 22, they call it. Catch 22. Rat race. Poverty of the mind. That is why even somebody who is suffering from the consequences of this heartless stealing, right? It will tell you that if na you, won't you do it? Let everybody use their own turn. If you get to your own turn, don't do it. Oh. If it is your own turn, don't shake any cock, because they expect you to do it too. Poverty of the mind. And that is what brought about, do you know who you are talking to? Do you know who I am? I say, no, I don't know you. You don't know who I am. Okay, I will show you who I am now. He wants to show you who he is, instead of him telling you that my name is Mayegun. But because you haven't acknowledged, you have seen him, you see me, you still don't know who I am. I want to prove it to you that somebody will come and tell you here who I am. Hello? Commissioner. Sorry, are you in the office? Okay. I need the 5 boys. We are currently at a junction in Ojota. Yeah. No, there's a young boy here. There's a young man here. He doesn't know who I am. Well, yeah, exactly. 5 boys. So, yeah, after we are done, I will see you later at the golf club tonight. He just want to show you who he is. He can't tell you himself. That would be so insulting. He needs somebody to come and do it for him. Poverty of the mind. And that's what you have everywhere in Nigeria. It is like Ogba Asylum. Not until somebody, that's why I told you, I said, a lot of them, they don't hate oppression. They are just waiting for their turn. Some of them are watching me right now, and maybe past or now, they've told themselves, I will show this man when I make it. When I make it in life, I will show this man on our streets. What is he looking forward to? He's looking forward to a time when he would have enough, and he too can phone a commissioner of police and say, come and show this man and tell him who he is talking to. Poverty of the mind. That is what also makes some of them feel so insulted. When they are messing up in public. When they are talking rubbish and, you know what I mean? They are not afraid. I mean, they are not against oppression. Majority of Nigerians are not against corruption. The reason why majority of them kind of speak up and cries out is when they are not the one doing it or benefiting from that corruption. Okay? Only when they become the victim of it, that is when it is wrong. So I was about to tell you about a smart Adeyemi, smart still smart. Following a thug, a criminal, a murderer, Yeye Bello. And he once said, if you remember this, all for what? Just to sustain his own feeding bottle. Sustain whatever his own share of what Nigeria is giving to them. To maintain that, lead a life of I am better than you. Do you know who I am? I am senator. I am governor. I am minister. And they will even kiss the devil, lick the ass of Kolu or anybody just to get what they want. He once said this when the going was good. Kogi, yeah, I haven't started with Saleko Barack Obama. We'll get to his part. Smart till ja, smart till smart. I want stomach smarter.
Let me only tell you, only a foolish man will be thinking that I will have one day have issues with Yaya Dozabelo. I will not have any issue with Yaya Dozabelo, let me tell you. It will never happen. Because when people didn't believe in me, he believed in me. So why will I fight him? I can do anything, I can defend Yaya Bello to any level. Because when people didn't believe, Yaya Bello stood his ground. He said, I believe in smart. So I will not betray him, inshallah. Nothing will happen. We will work together. Whatever is the decision of Yaya Dozabelo, I will stand by it, whether it is good or it's bad. I will stand by it. That's the lesson of my loyalty to him. You know, and I have some people have been talking. Whenever Yaya Dozabelo is leaving office, if he likes, let him bring my worst political enemy as his successor. I will support him. I'm not in a hurry to buy anything. Whoever Yaya Dozabelo bring, we will support the person. So let me tell you that I am a progressive-minded person, and I'm a man of faith. I am a man of faith. I am here by the grace of Almighty God in what my Muslim brother will say, it is God who brought me here, using Yaya Dozabelo and all of you. So I will continue to give my utmost best to all of you, defend our interests at the national level. There is no interest to defend in Kogi, because Yaya Dozabelo is a just and fair person. Am I right? Am I communicating? Yaya Dozabelo is just and fair. So there's nothing to fight with him. And also is our neighbors, our in-law. How are you going to fight your in-law and your neighbor? Do good. The Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself. So please continue to give your support to our government in Kogi State and at the federal level. I want to thank you. We begin, not to waste much of time, we begin with Kogi West now. Yaba West, so that we can move on. And
it is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian. It is smoke.
Now fast forward to today. How does smart Adeyemi feel about Yeye Bello? Smart Tioja, Arise News credit as well.
Question so that you can then respond. And then I also want to clarify, because you mentioned that INEC wasn't present, an INEC observer wasn't present, and that the person who was to announce the winner was the chairman of the election panel, which is, in this case, Governor of Zamfara, Bello Matawale, but he wasn't the one who announced the result. Instead, it was the secretary, Honorable Patrick Obaigwan, that announced. Can you just confirm this and why this was the case? So two things I asked you.
well, like you know, at the national level, the president of our nation is the leader of APC at the national level. So the state governors are leaders of the party at the state level. And having said this, let me say this. On the day the election was being, the purported result was announced, the governor was rightly seated there with all his key officials. None of us were called upon to be represented because ab initio there was no election. Now, the chairman of the panel, the governor of Zamfara, came in, but he left. Rumor has it that because he was fasting, he wouldn't want to be part of unrighteous criminality, so he took time to leave the scene. Probably he came back after, I wouldn't know, but that is the truth, that he was not the one who delivered the result, which is contrary to the provision of the APC constitution. Where a chairman is not available, the secretary is supposed to send another chairman to come and conduct the function of the chairman. But that is not even the issue. The issue is that you cannot put something on nothing. If there was election, this is a different phenomenon of election malpractices that must not stand. If there was election, if I was allowed to vote, I would be happy that at least I voted. There was no vote in my ward. And in every ward, no vote anywhere. What they did was to carry the document to the resident of either the chairman of the party.
Question so that you can then...
Shengbo Wiri. Smart iti oja, smart iti o smart. If you see these guys behind the scene, Baba Hustler, they are mere hustlers. So you see them as governors. And sometimes they want to present themselves as, somebody we don't make calm. I'm a state governor. I state governor. Thugs, bunch of never-do-wells. And the position even won't change them. Here you get. Bunch of hustlers. He's talking about election. Shoma Adini. Obayagbon, this is what he's talking about. Oh. And that's how they nominated him too, his name. When Yeye Bello gave him senator. The senatorial slot. And they rigged for him. Here you get. Yeah, they rigged for him against Dino. You don't forget. Inside room is where they conducted 78,000 votes for one person. Oh. Inside the room, bedroom of Yeye Bello. That is what a smart Oja is talking about. A reminder. Watch.
And total number of vote cast amounted to 83,419. It will interest you to know that the 7 candidates that participated in these primaries are the following votes. Honorable Smart Adeyemi had 311 votes. Honorable Sanusi Ohaire had 424 votes. Stephen Ikani Osheni had 552 votes. Shuaibu Abubakar Audu had 763 votes. Abubakar Yahaya Ashimugu had 1,159 votes. Salami Momodu Zigi had 1,506 votes. And Ahmed Usman Ododo had 78,704 votes. Wow. Meaning that Ahmed Usman Ododo had the majority of lawful votes in these governorship primary elections that took place yesterday. And get this background, therefore, by the powers conferred on the committee by virtue of Article 19 of the APC guidelines for the nomination of candidates for general elections 2003, I, Honorable Patrick Obayabon, Secretary of the Primary Election Committee for Kogi State, on behalf of the Chairman, His Excellency Governor Bello Matawalle, and members of the committee here present, hereby declare that Ahmed Usman Ododo, having scored the majority of lawful votes cast at the direct primary election conducted on the 14th day of April 2003 in Kogi State, is hereby declared as winner of the APC Kogi State primary election 2023. And the aforesaid Ahmed Usman Ododo is herewith, hereby, and heretofore returned as the duly elected governorship candidate of the APC.
That's Kogi. Now let's come to the heart of tonight's conversation. As we were on Mayegun's diary political last night, so was Fashola. Fashola Isale Eko, Barack Obama, or Ajangbadi Albert Einstein. In